Ебать! Пизда Лукойлу!
During the large Ukrainian attack on Russia, drones also targeted the Russian capital. At least 9 Ukrainian drones have been shot down near Moscow, Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said. Sobyanin said on Telegram that emergency crews were headed to the site where the drone debris fell. The mayor did not provide details as to where the drones were shot down or provide information on any damage. Russian Telegram channels, citing resident accounts, reported explosions in the communities of Mozhaisk and Dedovsk in Moscow Oblast, located just west of the outskirts of the capital. Another wave of drones attacked the Russian city of Smolensk, according to officials and local residents. Smolensk Oblast Governor Vasily Anokin said air defense units were repelling a drone attack over the region, but gave no further information. Smolensk residents reported explosions in the city. In footage posted to social media, eyewitnesses claimed that the drones targeted a nearby Lukoil facility. Video shows smoke and flames rising from a large fire at an undisclosed site. Anokin did not mention oil facilities or any possible targets in his report. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that 85 drones were downed over Bryansk Oblast, 42 over Smolensk Oblast, 28 over Leningrad Oblast, 18 over Kaluga Oblast, 14 over Novgorod Oblast, and 9 over the Moscow and Oryol Oblasts. Drones were also shot down over Belgorod, Rostov, Tver, Pskov, Tula, and Kursk Oblasts, the ministry said. Ukraine's military has not commented on the reported attack. A Ukrainian long-range drone, Lyuty, has struck the Vitorovo oil pumping station, which is crucial for fuel supplies to central Russia. The details of the attack were analyzed by Geoint researchers of the Cyberboroshno project. The drone hit the infrastructure of the oil pumping station in the Vladimir region, which is a key facility of the Verkhnekhansk Neftogaz main fuel pipeline. The attack hit a technological overpass where the fuel pipelines, as well as signal and power cables, are installed. The first attack on a Russian energy facility took place a week earlier, on September 7th, when drones from the 14th Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Regiment hit fuel tanks at the Vitorovo oil refinery. Dnipro-Osint researchers then recorded damage to 2 tanks with an operational fuel reserve, which is used to maintain a stable pressure in the system's pipelines. The Vitorovo station is an intermediate pumping station on the route of the Vitorovo to Tuma to Ryazan main fuel pipeline. It ensures the transportation of diesel fuel and jet fuel in the direction of the Ryazan refinery and controls the eastern segment of the system connecting the Verkhnevolodsky region with Ryazan. Cyberboroshno analysts note that any malfunctions at the station directly affect the fuel supply in central Russia. This is one of the key hubs for the stable operation of the Ryazan oil refinery and the supply of fuel to Moscow and aviation hubs. As a reminder, in addition to this facility, on the night of September 12th, Ukrainian drones also attacked the oil depot of the Russian Lukoil in the village of Kardimovo, the Smolensk region. At least 2 hits were recorded, after which a massive fire broke out at the facility, which was observed by local residents. Last spring, this oil depot was almost completely destroyed by Ukrainian drones. Only 2 of the 16 oil tanks survived, while the rest were completely burned out during the massive fire. Russians watching as their column burns. A Russian column of military vehicles, reportedly in the occupied part of the Zaporizhzhia region, was struck by Ukrainian FPVs. Ukrainian drones have become a nightmare for Russian armor, spotting, harassing, and striking tanks and logistics, forcing constant movement and heavy losses. FPV drone crews of the 53rd Brigade's F-16 unit struck multiple Russian targets in the Serebryansky Forest, Luhansk region. Destroyed were a vehicle with troops, a motorcycle, a BMP, an artillery gun, EW antennas, a long-range surveillance camera, and a UAV Molnia launch site with equipment. The FPV drone crews of the 53rd Brigade's F-16 unit operate as a compact, high-tempo strike element built for precision and surprise. Working in small teams of pilots and spotters, they use live video feeds and cross-platform reconnaissance to identify high-value targets. then push nimble first-person view drones into forested corridors where larger aircraft and conventional munitions cannot reach. Their typical cycle is detection, verification, and a rapid strike. Spotters confirm targets with multiple sensors and intelligence inputs. Pilots then thread low-flying FPV drones through trees and terrain to close ranges that maximize hit probability. Attacks are often hit and run. One wave pins down or distracts defenders while follow-on drones finish disabled vehicles, emplace munitions, or fragment enemy electronics. Small size and speed let these drones evade many traditional countermeasures and strike vulnerable support systems, rather than just frontline tanks. The recent operation in the Serebryansky Forest, Luhansk region, illustrates this concept. Crews struck a vehicle carrying troops, a motorcycle, a BMP, an artillery piece, electronic warfare antennas, a long-range surveillance camera, and a Molniya UAV launch site with attendant equipment. That target mix shows the unit's focus: disrupt movement, blind local surveillance and communications, and remove the launch and control nodes that sustain enemy drone and reconnaissance operations. Operating in dense woodland gives the FP5 teams a decisive advantage: concealment, natural approach corridors, and short lines of sight that favor small, agile systems. The tactical effects are immediate: destroyed hardware and interrupted missions, but the operational impact is deeper: degraded situational awareness, strained logistics, forced dispersion of forces, and lowered enemy morale. In short, the F-16 FP5 crews turn small, cheap platforms into force multipliers by attacking the systems that let enemy units observe, communicate, and resupply. Russians are conditioning their children for war with dehumanizing rhetoric. In a segment on Russian propaganda TV, one boy said, "My father said, 'Imagine that you are killing Ukrainians, militarization of society.'"
Some of the guys handled the task quite confidently.
My dad works as a paratrooper in the military, and he decided to teach me how to handle a rifle so that I could follow in his footsteps.
First it was unusual. Father said, "Imagine you're killing Ukrainians." Shadidi, why, and then my hands started doing everything on their own.
Novaya Gazeta Europe reports that Ramzan Kadyrov is suffering from a severe illness, uses a urine bag, and has largely stopped managing Chechnya. The FSB is monitoring his condition closely, as he ignores Moscow doctors and relies on self-treatment, which has repeatedly led to health crises. Recently, he has lost significant weight, and in public videos, he is mostly shown standing still or moving slowly, as if in slow motion. Russia's oil and fuel export revenues fell in August to a 5-year low, Reuters reports. Income dropped by $920 million from July to $13.51 billion, as crude and fuel exports declined, and the discount on Urals widened to about $56 per barrel, well below the $60 price cap. Exports fell by 70,000 barrels per day. Sweden has delivered its 20th military aid package to Ukraine worth $836 million. It includes 18 new Archer howitzers, 44 in total, 155mm shells, mobile radars, boats with grenade launchers, and unmanned naval systems, weapons and gear for 32 combat boats, 500 motorcycles, airbase equipment, sensors and control systems for Trident Mk2 air defense, programmable 40mm rounds, and additional classified systems.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.